Where did you hide the bodies?
Actually, right out in the bison pen.
Okay. That's where everybody hides them. Okay, the first question is, how did you guys first meet?
Well, so we met at Olive Garden. We both worked at Olive Garden. We bartended together there. When she first started, you don't start as a bartender, but you start as just a server. And I vaguely remember the first time that we actually spoke. All I know is that we had a margarita that she ordered for her table, and I made the margarita because I was bartending at the time, and she came up and got the margarita or whatever, and I was like, oh, I haven't really talked to this new girl yet or whatever. And so a little time passed, I was doing all the dishes, and she walked back up to the bar with the empty glass of margarita, and she said, another one. And I thought she meant like, oh, she needs another margarita. Well, she meant because I was doing the dishes that I had another dirty dish to do. Well, I ended up making another margarita thinking she was going to need it anyway. And a lot of time passed, and I was like looking at the margarita, and I'm like, she never came and got it. So I went out and I found her, and I'm like, do you need this margarita? And she said no. And she took like, was really like shy and like kind of took that route. And I said, are you sure you don't need the margarita? I can put it in maybe like a to-go coffee cup and you can secretly have a coffee. And she like was so embarrassed that I even like said something like that. Like, no, I can't believe, like, oh no, was all like taken back by it. And that was honestly our first interaction. Was I was trying to like shove booze down this poor girl's throat. She made me feel like anyway, but come to find out, like we had a bunch in common, and she does like to drink, but not like an overwhelming amount and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was our first time we ever met that I remember.
If you want to just do just that beginning part, that'd be great.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
I'll just kind of tell the story over again, but not the full. I felt like that was too long.
Yeah,
Anyway.
the short condensed version is perfect.
Okay, yep.
Okay.
All right. So when I first met Amanda, I was actually doing dishes at the Olive Garden bar in Iowa City, and she was bartending. She was a new employee, so she was just serving at that time, and she brought a dirty glass up, and she said another one, and I thought she meant she needed another margarita, and so I made the margarita, and it turns out she didn't actually need the margarita for her table. She just meant I had another dirty glass, and I needed to dispose of this new margarita that didn't need made, so I offered to put it in a to-go coffee cup for her, so it'd be kind of concealed, and maybe she could have a little something to drink. And she was very offended that I even asked such a question like that. So yeah, that was honestly our first interaction. Was she was kind of bothered by this creepy dude trying to give her free alcohol. So that was our first time.
Good. I like that. That was good. That had a good flow to it. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for redoing that again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and what was your first impression of Amanda?
My first impression of Amanda was, this girl's really, really, really cute. And I would love to talk to her more, but I hope I don't creep her out too much. And turns out I did, but it happens.
What was your first date? Tell us about the story of your first date.
Well, our first date, really, my first date with Amanda was really just, I think we just went over to her house. I mean, we didn't have like a really, like, beautiful scene, like, went to a beautiful dinner, dance, all that kind of stuff. No, went over to her house. I mean, we met in Iowa City, and it's kind of a college scene, so you get ready, you go downtown, and you have fun downtown, and then you go back to your house, and that's pretty much it. And nothing too perfect about the date, I guess, unfortunately, but yeah.
Okay. What are some of your favorite things about Amanda?
My favorite thing, honestly, my favorite like thing about her, just looking at her, is her eyes. Her eyes are, I love the color of her eyes. They're beautiful. I love that she's a very, very, very caring person. One of the most caring people I've ever met, and one heck of a cook. Holy cow! I love her food.
You said she's a very caring person. Is there any stories or anything that that you want to share with us about maybe something that she did something, maybe she went the extra mile for somebody or did something for somebody?
I mean, she. I know one specific story. I remember her telling me,
Yeah.
and it was like right after we first started dating. She gave this homeless lady a blanket like straight out of her house, and the homeless lady ended up like following her home, and like every other night would come by knocking on the door and like asking for more stuff. So I mean, sometimes her very, very good nature kind of gets her in a hot corner sometimes, but it's amazing to marry that kind of woman. But I think not a day goes by that I don't feel her loving, caring self.
Cool. Okay. In what ways are you two most alike?
I think honestly we're both very, very, very stubborn people. So when it comes to if we get in an argument and all that kind of stuff, I mean we have our own ways of settling arguments and stuff like that. But she's very, very stubborn, and it's I mean we communicate and everything, but we butt heads on a lot of issues sometimes, and it happens. But I mean it's a relationship. That's the way it's supposed to be. So.
I was going to ask you the question, what ways are you two most different, but I think you just answered that one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Tell us about the proposal. Give us a story of the proposal, how it went, maybe the day, where it at, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So that day, it was her birthday. She just turned 21, and it was so it was a big day for her already. And so her work friends had taken her to the casino, which she now legally could get into, and she's never really been into a casino herself. So we went to the Paradise, and or she went to the Paradise with her work friends. I was at work. When I got home from work, we had planned to go to Alexander's Steakhouse. We ate dinner. They at that time had like a special going on where it was like meal, salad bar, and like wine, all for like a very reasonable price. So she was all for it. Went there, had a great meal, and the whole time I had the ring in my pocket, and I was the type of pants I was wearing were like too tight that I couldn't put a ring box in my pants or my pants pocket. Sorry, and it was like it would be too tight and it'd be too obvious that hey, you've got a small square box in your pocket. So I had just the ring loose in my pocket, and I was nervous the whole time. Like, I don't think I took my hand out of my pocket the entire dinner. And so after dinner, she mentioned that we should go down to the riverfront. Lo and behold, that was our plan the entire time. So our officiant today is the same person that took the engagement photos, and she was out there acting like she was taking pictures of her daughter on the riverfront. And we walked out there or whatever, and I was like getting into like position, and like I was kind of like eyeing Nicole, that's the lady taking the pictures, and like we just kind of did it, and I got down on one knee, and here we are.
Cool, very cool. I love Alexander's Steakhouse, by the way.
Oh God, that meal it was like 2 entrees, like a salad bar, and like a side for like $50 and a bottle of wine.
Those are great.
I'd marry him if you did. Okay, let's see. What do you love about Amanda?
What do I love about Amanda? I don't even know where to begin with that. I love her smile, her eyes, her very, very caring personality. She's an amazing dog mom. She's gonna be a great mother someday. I can't even really put it into words what I really truly love about Amanda. I just love her for her.
Awesome. That's great. Okay, any honeymoon plans?
No, we don't have any honeymoon plans. My cousin is actually getting married next weekend, and I'm an usher in that wedding as well. So, I mean, this past few weeks we had a wedding last weekend that we were at, and now here we are on our big day, and it's been a roller coaster ride for the last like month or so with planning our wedding, planning our plans, and so we haven't shelled out an idea for a honeymoon yet, but we will definitely be taking one. It'll probably be more in the winter time, more so just to escape
Cool.
cold weather.
Cool. Where do you think you guys might go?
We're definitely talking about cruises. We're probably going to be taking some sort of cruise. I hope. I mean, if plans change, we've talked about going to Ireland too, but that's an expensive route to go. So.
Okay. I think that's really about it. The last one is if you could change one thing about your partner. I'm like, no, that's a bad question.
Yeah.
Yeah, what kind of questions are these? Did you pick these out?
No.
Okay.
That would have been you and the
I'm
vehicle?
gonna blame you though.
You're gonna
All right.
blame me?
All right, you want to go ahead and?
Yeah, is there
we're done?
anything else that you want to say?
Yeah,
to
is
her?
there anything else you'd
Maybe
like to
a
say?
well-wishing.
Oh yeah. That's great idea. So
Like-
something we'd like to put at the end of the wedding that says, "Amanda, I love you. Can't wait to spend my life with you." Kind of like thing,
Yeah.
kind of like that. We're good to go.
All right. I love you, Amanda. I can't wait to marry you. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. And you're my favorite thing to wake up to every morning, my favorite thing to kiss goodnight. So I love you, and I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cut. Okay, so first question is going to be, just like I said before, how did you guys first meet? Tell us the story.
Well, it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago now. I had moved to Iowa City and started working at Olive Garden, and that's where Nick and I met. We bartended together and served together. We did everything together.
Hang on. Boss. Yes. What can we do for you?
I'm gonna steal the wedding dress behind you real quick.
Oh, sorry.
Very good.
Promise to bring it back.
It's fine. Oh, and the top straps are like taped to the hanger because they wouldn't stay up. Okay.
We'll be done in about 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, plenty of time.
Do you need anything else? No, sir. Okay, great. Thanks.
Oh, Nick was outside when he took the dress. Oh well, it's fine. We can restart that one if you have to. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
fine.
Okay, so again, using Nick at the beginning of it, how tell us the story of how you guys first met.
Okay. Nick and I met at Olive Garden. It was, I don't even know now, 4 years ago. We bartended together. He actually trained me bartending, and we served together. So yeah, that's how we met.
Great. Was there a little bit more to the story of how you guys actually first time bumped into each other or talked or
Yeah. Nick probably tells the story way better than I do because he remembers it better. But he had made a margarita, I think, and had put it on the bar. And it was extra, like either I messed up and ordered it or somebody else did. And it was extra. And I was under the age at that point when we first that encounter. And he asked me if I wanted it. And I gave him the dirtiest look, and I said, nope, I think. And I turned around and walked away.
Great.
Very good first impression.
Perfect. I'll tie it all together.
Okay.
Okay, and what was your first impression of Nick?
Well, of course he was cute, and my maid of honor can vouch for me. I talked about Nick all the time. So, and he's funny. Nick is one of the funniest people that I know. So that, if you can make me laugh, that's my thing. So he had a good first impression after our margarita encounter.
Great. Okay, tell us the story of your first date.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. I think we went to a fancy restaurant in Iowa City, and he ordered a fish dish, I think, and it had what looked like motor oil smeared all over the plate. And he ate it, and I got something simple, probably like a salad or something. And I'm pretty positive the night of or the next morning he got sick, and it did not sit well with him. And yeah, it was good though. It was a good first date.
So it could have been motor oil.
It could have been motor oil.
Okay, what's your favorite thing or favorite things about Nick?
Well, we have a 2-year-old black lab, and he is basically our child. His name is Bruno. So my favorite things about Nick would include how kind he is to our dog, because Bruno is one of the most important things in my life. Nick, it just has a great personality, and he's so kind to other people. I think he would literally do anything for anyone, which a lot of people wouldn't. So that's another thing I love about him.
Okay. In what ways are you and Nick most alike?
Sports. He turned me into a St. Louis Cardinals fan, so we have a big interest in sports and the Iowa Hawkeyes. That's where Nick went to school, so we were kind of surrounded by that. Video games. A lot of our friends don't know that about us. We play PlayStation a lot. And I guess just really kind of our lifestyle. We both like to stay in when a lot of people like to go out. We would rather cook a meal at home than go out to eat. So I don't know. We just have a lot in common.
Cool. Okay, and in what ways would you say that you two are most different?
Well, I don't do the dishes. And Nick does. And he knows it. He knows that it's kind of his designated job. I don't know. We have a lot more in common than we do different. So I can't really think of anything else.
Okay, sure. Tell us a little bit of story about the proposal.
Okay. It was my 21st birthday, and we had gone to a nice dinner. It was a steakhouse in Peoria. And then, well, before that, I had gone to the casino because it was my 21st birthday. So I was feeling good. And then we went to dinner and had a really nice dinner, some wine. And afterwards, I wanted to take a walk, like by the riverfront. It was actually my idea. And then we got down to the riverfront, and I had seen a woman taking pictures of what looked like a girl's senior pictures. So we're trying to avoid them at all costs. And I kept yelling at Nick. I was like, "Come over here. They're taking pictures." Well, down on the riverfront, they have lockets on the fence or whatever. And I had just gotten my new iPhone, so I was taking pictures of the lockets. And Nick started in on his speech, working up the proposal, and I had turned around from taking pictures, and he got down on his knee and asked me to marry him. And it turns out the people that I thought were taking senior pictures, Nick had actually hired the lady to take some pictures for us for the engagement. So it was awesome. He did a really good job. And then our best friends came running around the corner, and they were there too, and they got to watch everything. So it was awesome. He did a good job.
Cool. Do you remember what restaurant it was that you guys went to?
It was Alexander's Steakhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would just say that's one of our
Yeah.
favorite places.
That's so rude. Didn't know you were having a pop quiz.
What are you looking forward to on your, today? What are you looking forward to on today?
We have a lot of out-of-town guests, so I'm really looking forward to them being able to see Nick and I together now, because it has been a really long time since we've seen a lot of our old friends. But at the same time, Nick has not seen me since last night. He doesn't know about the dress, so I'm really excited to see his reaction when I walk down the aisle.
Nice. What do you love about Nick?
Did you ask that one?
Let's see.
I think I did one that was similar to that. I was like, oh, I have to think of more
Yeah,
things.
why? Okay. What are your honeymoon plans?
We actually are putting off the honeymoon for a while because Nick just started a new job within the last month, so his paid time off and everything is kind of weird right now. But eventually, we are either going to go on a very long cruise or we are looking at Ireland. We both share interests of wanting to go there, so we're looking into that.
Cool. Now, the last thing we want to do here, this is when you get to actually look into the camera.
Okay.
This is going to be at the end of the video. You're going to say a personal message to Nick.
Okay.
Something about how much whatever you want to say, how much you love him, look forward to just today.
Oh gosh,
and-
I
and-
should have
and all
wrote
that.
something.
And all that good stuff. Well, just like about the heart. And remember, we can record as much
Okay.
as you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, if you wanna.
Yeah, and we're
Okay.
rolling.
There's a few things I want to say. Most of it is I can't wait to see your reaction when I walk down the aisle. I know that the suspense has been killing you, not being able to see my dress and it being at your parents' house for months, almost a year. I love you, and I can't wait to see you. I've already seen you in your suit, but I know that it's gonna come all together with your bow tie and everything. And I can't wait to share this moment with you and all of our friends and family. And I love you. Is
Perfect.
that good? Was that long enough? Okay.
Excellent. And where did you hide the bodies?
Probably out back in like the buffalo pen.
That's what he
That's
said.
exactly
Oh my God.
We'll have to make that.